We have a new severe thunderstorm warning, excuse me. This is going into effect for Pike County. And this deals with the storm. Wasn't I just saying about this? This deals with the storm that's coming out of St. Helena Parish right now.
Yep.
That is moving northward. This storm's something to watch too. So for you folks in Tylertown and Macomb, let's pay attention on this one. All right, let's see how this one evolves, because this one's coming out of South Louisiana, and this has a pretty good advantage when
there it goes.
We just went toward, wow.
Yeah.
Are they listening to me, or are they in my head? But this, we have a new, I hope not. Tornado warning in effect right now for southern Pike County and now for southwestern sections of Walthall County. So please take cover now if you're in the Progress community or in Tylertown. I know the line goes right through Tylertown. It's a little unfortunate. But at this point, we have a tornado warning in effect. This is about 5,000 folks are in the path of this warning. It goes until 1 o'clock. Radar indicates a potential tornado coming out of the Kentwood area of Louisiana. That is going to be moving northeastward and will move to places such as Progress at 12:33 and Tylertown about 12:40. So just keep that in mind. A tornado warning in effect for this area, about 12:47 for Tylertown, Cardo 12:51. If you could just take the noise off for 1 second, I want to focus on where this tornado warning is actually in effect for. And you can see it just cuts right through Tylertown here in the red box. Tornado warning. We have a radar indicated tornado very close to Kentwood, and it is moving northeast towards your area. Then the rest of Pike County is under a severe thunderstorm warning. And that's the other thing I want to tell you. We had the storm system, I don't know, a week, 2 weeks ago now. And the wind did more damage than any tornadoes did, and it was from wind. And so I don't want to get too caught up in the tornadoes when we know we've got a heck of a windstorm out there too. The wind that you saw, you may have seen that dust storm that they were getting in Texas. They've had 2 dust storms this year. It's kind of rare. We don't talk about dust storms very often. But they had a dust storm yesterday, 100-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and that was part of this storm system. Now, obviously, we're not seeing that, but that's how violent this storm system has been. It's got a history of this. And so I just don't want to discount the wind potential out of any of these thunderstorms. But we do have a tornado warning now in effect until 1 o'clock, and we have a severe thunderstorm warning that surrounds it. So just keep that in mind. With damaging winds, tornado possible in the orange box, considerable threat indicated when it comes to the damage potential from this storm. So a very serious situation that's playing out there. We just want you to stay weather aware and be advised as to what's going on with this storm. So let's go back to our other warnings that we've got on the screen. Right now, winds 60 miles per hour. We're getting some new information, Elise, on the storm. We're now going observed.
Observed.
Okay. So that just increased the intensity.
So I'm going to go check on.
Yeah, I'm going to let you go check on that. Just interrupt me when you get to it. But bottom line is we now have a tornado warning that's been narrowed for Pike and Walthall County. They have narrowed it down to about 20. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry about that, Dave. They've gone confirmed on this because there's now a tornado debris signature. So it was not confirmed by a spotter, but it is a radar confirmed tornado. So we'll take a look at that debris tracker as well.
And if we have to, maybe switch to Hammond. To get it. I think I just saw it. Right there, possibly. I hope it's not the one near Porter's Grove, but let's keep an eye. That could be.
Yeah, that looks like it could be.
Yeah, that is a pretty intense debris ball. That is near Porter's Grove. So this is going to be just south of Progress, Mississippi, all right? This is going to cross the border here very soon into Pike County. We've got a significant debris ball. I mean, that really just blew up.
It really did.
So Tylertown, please, this is now a serious situation. This is not just a regular tornado warning, so to speak. I know it's like what's worse than worst, right? But bottom line is this storm is now just south of Progress, and it's moving into Walthall County. If you have friends, if you have kin, any kind of family that live in Tylertown or anywhere in this area, south of Progress over to Tylertown in Walthall County, please text them, call them, alert them. Make sure that they know what's going on here. When you've got a debris ball, folks, that means confirmation that something's being lofted into the air, into the atmosphere. And with that, and I don't like where the storm is oriented with it either, because that's where your circulation is, and it's going to be feeding up that moisture, and then that storm's just going to track south of 575. If we can go street level in some of these places, I know it's really rural in this area, but this is Smithburg Road, Mount Herman Road in here, and then you've got State Line Road, which of course borders the state of Louisiana and Mississippi. This is the area that's going to be impacted by this storm. So we've got a debris ball, debris being confirmed by radar. We see it, and that's a lot of debris. It's a large debris ball considering the storm that we're talking about. And that's going to be moving across this area here before long. So please, again, this is the kind of thing where you do call people. You make sure they're just paying attention. They probably know what's going on at this point, but I just want to make sure that we don't leave any stone unturned. Kirkland, Tylertown, Progress. This is a dangerous storm that just came through Kentwood. With that kind of debris ball, there's going to be quite a bit of damage in that particular storm. What are you seeing here, Elise, when you look at the inflow and outflow of the winds?
I'm seeing it. It looked like a relatively impressive little circulation once they issued that warning, and we were taking a look at it. In fact, we were looking at that before they put a warning on it, and you could tell that there was going to be some circulation. Remember, if you were watching with us, Dave was mentioning those cells had that sickle shape in Louisiana as they started to push up here, so indicating some rotation. But you can see that now. I'm going to get a little bit of a wind speed on this because it's a funny looking color. Yeah, about 80 miles an hour.
At least they also just went, looks like they just went confirmed and observed on it.
Yeah, I see that. Okay. So this has a considerable threat, also potential for it to be producing some hail, and there is a debris ball, and I think it actually may be back here, Dave, closer to where that circulation is showing up. So that was the one that was closer
to Kentwood. Okay. Well, you also have to remember, folks, we're looking at this from a couple different angles.
Yeah.
We're using more than one radar. So sometimes the radar is deceptive in the sense that it looks like one way from one angle and one way from the other. But
it's still going to impact the same areas that we were telling you to make sure that you're in your safe place and to be calling people. So Smithburg, Mount Herman Road, Progress, Gladhurst, you're going to be in the path of this storm. Progress, Lexi Road, going up to Stallings Bridge Road and along Highway 27. And again, Progress, Lexi Road, Highway 575. We want you to stay in that safe place as we continue to track this confirmed tornado that's on the ground. So that's going to be for Pike and Walthall counties in the southern part of the counties, southeastern Pike, southwestern Walthall counties. That does include Tylertown and Leggett. It includes the community of Kirkland, Highway 27 south of Tylertown, going down to Warnerton, which is actually in Louisiana. But this is a confirmed tornado, a considerable threat. So to life and to property, we want you to be in your safe place. And we keep saying get in your safe place. We'll go over it really quickly for you where your safe place needs to be. And that's going to be in the most interior room of your home on the lowest floor of whatever building that you're in. You want as many walls between you and the outside as you can possibly get. It's typically going to be a bathroom or a closet, maybe a hallway. I remember as a kid, ours was a hallway. So if it is a hallway, close the doors that are around you to the rooms that may have walls that go to the outside. Just something to keep in mind because that can actually wind up also saving you. And when you get in that safe place, bring something to cover your head. If you have a helmet, have that with you. If you have a pot, that can cover your head as well. Something that's going to help to prevent you from getting any injuries. We'll get a track on this storm as well. Let me get it back to our regular radar view. And again, this is a confirmed tornado that's headed for the area of Progress and could potentially impact Tylertown later on down the line. This is moving at about 55 miles per hour, but I'll get another check on it since they've updated this morning. It was moving at 55 miles per hour. Let's see what it's doing now.
Pretty good presentation on radar too. You can see where it's open to the south, and that's where it's feeding. Definitely the storm is feeding on it. I'm curious to see if it looks like it's adopting almost like an S or a hook-shaped echo on it. If in the back you can pull up our Skycam that's in Walthall County right now in Tylertown. We are pointing southwestward right now. This is our Market Max cam in Tylertown. Rain is falling in Tylertown, which obviously it's a pretty large storm that's out there, but the storm is approaching from the southwest. This is a confirmed tornado with a debris ball signature. That means we are detecting debris in the sky as it came through Kentwood, Louisiana. It is now getting close to State Line Road in the southern part of Pike County. County, and this will eventually wind up in Mississippi here within the next few minutes. A tornado warning in effect. I saw a little lightning flash. Something tells me we're going to see a lot of lightning. If we can, let's give it the whole workover, Elise. Let's look at it from a lightning standpoint. Let's look at it from a hail standpoint too, because they're giving a considerable damage or considerable threat tag to this particular tornado. And when you see that, it's something you have to pay attention to. So that's Tylertown there, and we're seeing a lot of lightning near the Progress community where this cell is located. So this is where it's growing. When you start having a storm that's billowing up in the atmosphere, again, strong updrafts, electrical particles, positive, negative, they all start coming together, and that's why you start getting these lightning strikes. So that's a growing storm that is just southwest of Tylertown here, and it's obviously something to be very concerned about. We'll take a look at the hail scan as well, just to see if we're seeing anything on that. You can see there's some large hail. Yeah. In fact, getting that dark green here. So we're at the ping pong level. We're not tennis ball size hail yet, but if you're close to Osaka, or really anywhere from Osaka to Progress, regardless of the tornadic threat, you're going to have a large hail problem there as well. I would tell you, if you've got a carport and you live in southern Pike County, probably if you can, before it's too rough. If it's too rough, you can't do it now, but if you can, get it into the carport before this storm hits. In the purple shaded color, we have a tornado warning in effect. Why is it purple? Because we have a considerable damage tag with this storm. That means considerable damage or considerable threat is considered with it. Also, it is an observed tornado. We have confirmation on it. We are seeing the debris ball in the sky. You only get a debris ball from, in this particular instance, of the actual debris from the ground being scooped up into the atmosphere, and that debris ball is southwest of Tylertown. It is south of Progress. Still well defined, is it not, Elise?
Yeah, it is. You can see those yellowish colors where you're also seeing a little bit of blue. That's going to be the debris that could be up in the atmosphere. Where you see red colors, that's typically just rain that's falling, and the radar can tell that based on the shape of the debris. So that's what we actually track when we look at this, is what kind of shape is what the radar is picking up holding, and that would tell you whether or not it appears to be lofting any debris. But again, it does, and this has a considerable threat on it. I'm going to do a little slice of this storm here for you, Dave, and just see maybe what we can see with it.
So we're at about 20,000 feet on this particular storm, and yeah, we're not quite pushing over 30, but I'm curious to see how this storm kind of plays out.
Yeah, for sure. So again, this has a history of producing some hail, and it has a history of, well, let me get it back to a regular view there. It has a history of damaging wind for sure, because this did have a severe thunderstorm warning on it before it went tornadic, before we saw that rotation on it. We do have other tornado warnings out, so we don't want to forget about you guys.
And then farther south, we're going to be looking at this storm that's getting closer to Tylertown. And this one, there it is, on 575, east of Osaka, west of Progress, and just to the northeast of Kentwood. This is a dangerous storm because we've got all the makings and markings, if you will,
and it looks like that debris ball may be right over the community of Progress right now. So you need to continue staying in your safe place along Progress, Lexi Road, Osaka Road. The only counties now in this warning are actually in Mississippi. So that's going to be southeastern Pike County, southwestern Walthall counties, and just stay in your safe place until we give you the all clear. I wouldn't be surprised to see this particular warning get expanded, Dave, as this storm continues on. Yeah,
this storm has a history to it. Again, it came out of Kentwood a little while ago. Elise just mentioned that it was confirmed on the ground. And this looks like a pretty large area of debris. And the cell looks like it is now in Mississippi. It looks like it has moved more towards Smithburg and Progress. And that storm is working its way towards Tylertown. Really well-defined hook echo now on it.
Very much so, Dave. So in Mesa, Mississippi, along Highway 48, Leggett, continue to stay in those safe places. And I want to go ahead and give you the heads up in Cardo, in Dinan, along Highway 583, in the event that this storm does continue on. So stay in those safe places. In Progress, you may be done with the worst of it here in the next few minutes. And we'll let you know when it looks like you're clear of that storm.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you go. There's a well-defined debris ball and that's going more and more eastward now near the Progress Lexi area. That is Osika Road, and it's going to continue to head towards Tylertown. Please, again, we have a debris ball, folks. We've got confirmation that this thing was on the ground as it moved through Kentwood. The debris ball tells us everything we pretty much need to know.
Yeah.
The radar signature kind of verifies that. Let folks know, if you can, in Walthall County, to get to the lowest floor of their home, away from windows. Putting helmets on would be a good idea too, all right? Putting helmets on just to be on the safe side, because there is debris. So there's going to be flying debris with this particular storm. Then we've got the other storm that's near Pinola right now in Shivers. The most dangerous, I would say, at this point is that one. That is in southern Pike and western Walthall County, just about.
But
And
I
this
will
is the
say,
one-
Dave, all of these storms appear to be having a decent defined hook to them at this point as
Yeah.
they continue to grow. I am getting a report right here from
And I'm just seeing here that they're going to continue this tornado warning for probably the rest of Walthall County here before long.
yeah, and they've done that now, actually.
Okay, so there you go. And that makes sense. So just about, oh, there you go. And it's going into Marion County too. So they're extending this tornado warning, and it's now including Lawrence County. So we now have a new tornado warning that is just coming out. I'm going to wait for it to populate here on my screen. But this is a serious situation developing in Jefferson Davis and Lawrence counties and Walthall counties. And when you see a purple box, that is a concern that we are going to be looking at a intense tornado that is causing damage and could cause considerable damage as it moves northeast. So we now have a tornado warning in effect for those places: Darbin, Carmike, Arm, Silver Creek, Prentice, and Summerall are all included in this tornado warning. This is a really dangerous storm because, again, we've got all the ingredients. We've got large hail. We've got the well-defined circulation on radar, and then we have the confirmation by debris ball and by people who have witnessed the actual storm that is sitting off to the southwest. Guys in the back, if you can, when you get a chance, pull up that Tylertown cam from time to time. But this is where the debris ball is. We're east of Leggett here. We're just about moving into, this line you see on the screen. This line here is the western part of Walthall County. So we're just about to exit Pike County, and we're moving along Highway 48. That's where this tornado is located. So this is going to go through the west side of Tylertown. The tornado will. The actual storm is over Tylertown. All right, this is our view right now. We are looking live in Tylertown at the storm off to the west. Still have a decent visibility how far you can see. So my guess is it may not be a rain-wrapped tornado. This might be one you're going to see for quite a distance. So we'll keep checking back on this because this might be a decent vantage point to see the tornado. We've got meteorologist Danae Scales. We've got meteorologist Chase Franks with us. If you see something, guys, that just call our attention. Don't worry about interrupting us. There's no rules on a Saturday when you're talking about tornadoes out there. So just let us know. Don't worry about being rude.
I think we have spotted it. Do you see it off into the distance of that tree line?
I see it too. I'm just trying.
Possible.
It looks like a low-hanging cloud.
It's hard to tell with the tree line there.
Yeah, I know. But it's moving fast. You can see how fast this storm is moving. And if you look at the sky, it looks like there's a little rotation in the sky, does it not? What do you guys think? I'm just seeing, I'm watching it in the distance too. We're going to just stay on this for a second. But you know what's interesting? So Chase, you bring that up. Notice how that cloud isn't moving as fast as the ones around it. The ones around it almost seem like they're circulating around it.
Yeah.
I just don't want to call it just yet because it's not the most well-defined. But if that's where the tornado is, it's going to be just west of Tylertown. So we've got our camera on it right now, and we're just following it. And unfortunately, we're having a harder time seeing it through the tree line. But we have a confirmed tornado now approaching Tylertown from the west.
And Dave, I want to say the National Weather Service is going to go with a considerable tag for the storm in Simpson County as well.
Yep. So, okay.
And that is approaching Mendenhall, you guys. So stay in your safe place. You've been in a tornado warning. Initially, this storm wasn't looking all that impressive, but we were expecting it to strengthen.
We don't have the confirmations except for the one that's near just west of Tylertown. Very easy to see. We've got debris tracker on here. Let's go a little bit closer in, just because I know a lot of folks right now are nervous as you probably should be, in western sections of Walthall County. This is where the debris ball is located, in the western part of the county, just west of Tylertown. It's crossing Highway 48. It's crossing Highway 98 here in a matter of the next 2 or 3 minutes. It's going to go between Dinan and Tylertown. I'm talking about the tornadic part of the storm. The severe thunderstorm extends to a much wider range than that. Mesa, 1246, about 2 minutes. Salem, 1244. Darbin, 101. Homage, 105. Carmike, 110. Expos, 114. Just understand here, this tornado is the real deal. Debris ball, hail, and also damaging winds from it too. So there's the hail tracker on it. The hail's not as strong as it was a little while ago, but this storm is definitely tornadoing. We've got hail with that storm too that's moving towards Mendenhall. And again, this is a dangerous situation. When you see purple boxes on your screen, that means considerable damage likely, okay, from this storm. This is radar indicated. We don't have ground truth on it. I mean, we don't have someone spotting it, but this is tornadoing. It's literally about to touch the ground. And so we have 3,100 folks in Simpson County that are currently under this tornado warning. Brace yourselves in Mendenhall. Take cover now in Mendenhall. Tornado is inbound. It's coming in from the southwest, from Pinola, moving towards Mendenhall. It will be there within the next 10 minutes or so. A dangerous situation. There could be considerable damage. We are monitoring it. We are waiting to see if there's going to be a debris ball from it, but we are watching that storm for you. Till Easter, this is for eastern Simpson County, until 1 o'clock, a tornado warning in effect. A large and extremely dangerous tornado is now located just southwest of Mendenhall. This is moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. This is moving northeast 45 miles per hour. Radar indicating rotation. This is a dangerous situation, folks, okay? This is imminent for the city of Mendenhall. This is imminent for the city of Mendenhall. Also imminent for the city of Tylertown. A debris ball west of Tylertown, a very well-defined circulation that currently exists in Simpson County outside Mendenhall. Let's go to Mendenhall real quick. Sorry, I didn't mean to throw you for a loop there, Elise.
No, that's okay.
Real quick, Mendenhall, Highway 13. Let's go closer in. Mendenhall on the outskirts of this tornado. It's coming into town right now from the southwest. It's near Merritt and 43, and this will come in very close on Highway 13 into downtown Mendenhall very soon. So this is coming in very close to the downtown part of Mendenhall. You just got hit with some horrible, horrible storm, what, a month or two ago? So that's the thing. Skies are rotating in and around Mendenhall, we're getting reports of. So this is a dangerous situation right now that is playing out as the storm cell is just about to move into Mendenhall. Again, lowest floor of your home. This is our air south cam right now. This is our air south cam. Are we pointed southwest, guys? This
That's
would be
more northwest right now because it's tracking more.
Right,
south
okay, we're going to
So,
track it as it moves across the sky. That's fine.
Dave, I think that we actually did see the tornado pass through because based off of everything that's coming in behind it, had to be
In Tylertown.
In Tylertown,
Yeah.
yes, sir. And
Okay.
then we just saw emergency vehicles moving that direction,
Okay.
just passing down that road. So I think that it's fairly safe to say that that was the area that we saw. I know it's hard to tell with the tree line and
Yeah.
everything, but I think that was the area
I just
that
didn't
we
want to
were
jump the
tracking.
gun on it, but yeah, it did definitely look like you could see that cloud was acting on its own, and then the other ones were rotating around it. But good call on that. And based on what you just said, Chase, folks in the back, if you can reach out to some folks in Walthall County.
Can we get the air south camera up?
That's what we've got right now. We're
That's
actually
Tylertown.
Oh, that is?
Tyler, that's
Get us
Tylertown.
over to Air South,
Air
guys.
South.
I'm sorry. I thought we had Air South on. That's why I'm sorry about that. We need to go to the Air South cam in Mendenhall, and let's get that up on the screen if we can.
Now, I want to tell you, in Pike County, you guys are now out of the tornado warning. So they've extended this. It's going to continue just into Walthall County, and it's near the Tylertown area, near Dinan, and still has a considerable damage threat on it. There was confirmation
We have
again.
a new tornado warning now. We have a new tornado warning for Rankin County, for northeastern Simpson County, northwestern Smith County, and southern Scott County. This is our air south cam from Mendenhall looking at the sky. Let's go and visit that storm in Walthall County if we can, because we have numerous tornado warnings associated with that. as well. And we're still getting a well-defined signature now just northwest. This is the wind field, and we're getting a defined signature northwest of Tylertown. I hate seeing that threat.
Yeah. So again, just continue to stay in your safe place in Dinan and Tylertown, Darbin, along Highway 27 in Walthall County. In Carmike, this does extend well outside of Walthall County now, the actual warning. And they are expecting this storm to continue to push on because it is a very well-defined storm, still has a very well-defined debris ball. In fact, there appear to be 2 areas of debris, but there is some contamination from that storm, so it's likely from the one circulation, but it's just continuing to throw up debris even on the backside essentially, but right over Tylertown, and again just east of Dinan is where we're tracking that. You can see
that's a well-defined circulation.
Very well-defined circulation, both from radar and from from what we call just the base radar, and then from your velocity tracker as well.
Yeah. So Chase observed there were emergency vehicles responding. Could have been for anything, but if it was related to the tornado, again, folks in the back, if you can, let's get some folks on the phone in Walthall County to get some additional information on that. But you could see that this is a well-defined tornado with catastrophic damage possible as it's moving out of Walthall County. Are you guys hearing anything else as far as damage?
I just got a viewer report saying that the tornado was on the ground moving through the town of Salem,
okay,
right outside of the Tylertown community.
Okay, and guys, be on the lookout if we have any pictures or videos come in from the Free First Alert weather app. Again, only take pictures, folks, if you can safely. Not interested if you're going to put yourself in harm's way, but only if you could take pictures or video of it safely. Send them our way. That is the Salem community that Elise has up on the screen, on the radar screen there, and that's where the storm is moving through right now. We have a viewer confirming that there is a tornado on the ground moving across Salem. So it's a busy afternoon now. We've got numerous tornado warnings in effect. Several counties are under tornado warnings, and if you're under a tornado warning, these are not the storms to play with. These storms are going tornado very quickly, and then we're getting confirmations on them quickly as well.
Yeah, so in Sartonville and Darbin, you guys are the next ones downstream of this storm. They are going to continue on with this catastrophic.
We're going tornado
damage.
emergency now. We're going tornado emergency.
Excuse me. Yeah, heading into Lawrence and into Marion and Jeff Davis counties.
Okay, didn't mean to cut you off there, Elise. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
We have a tornado emergency now for Walthall County. This is the real deal, folks. Anybody along Highway 27, let's go closer into Darbin. This is where we have 586 also being impacted by this storm. So a tornado emergency being indicated for there. If you can get me additional information on that, Elise, because I know you're inside another chat that I'm in right now. But you could see 27 and Highway 586. This is the area. We now have what we call a black box out. That means that there's a tornado emergency being declared. This is a rare event, but it's only done when you're talking about catastrophic damage possible or happening from an actual tornado. This is just north of Tylertown in Walthall County.
And
so
Dave,
just
what they have in this warning, this tornado emergency, deadly tornado, emergency management has still confirmed that tornado to be on the ground. So it is a life-threatening situation, and you need to remain in that safe place. They have now continued that on.
And we are getting reports of campers that have been overturned in the Tylertown area. That would be probably west and northwest of Tylertown is what I'm assuming. There are people trapped, and we're getting this from reliable sources. So again, this is a tornado emergency that is now out, and they're going to extend that possibly, but
they
catastrophic.
have extended that now.
Okay.
Excuse me, the catastrophic has been extended.
Okay, so let me tell you what this means, folks. A tornado emergency has been now declared for southeastern Lawrence and northwestern Marion County. A tornado warning goes until 1:45 for northwestern Marion, southeastern Lawrence, and Jefferson Davis counties. There is a confirmed large and destructive tornado about 19 miles east of Macomb, or just over the Salem community. This is moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. This is considered a deadly tornado. Okay, weather spotters have confirmed a tornado on the ground. The tornado will be near Tilton and Holly Springs in 4 minutes. It will be near Oakville and Morgantown in 10 minutes. Goss, Arm, and Society Hill, 20 minutes. Progress 115, Prentice and Carson 120, Bassfield 125. A large, extremely dangerous and potentially deadly tornado is currently on the ground moving across Highway 27 in eastern and northeastern Walthall County. Get to the lowest floor of your home. There we go in that black box there. We don't show this very often, folks, but a tornado emergency has been declared. This basically is something that checks every box you can check when it comes to a tornado out there. We're going to, if I can, Nay, I'm going to put you on the spot. Try to see if we can get any measurements as to how strong it is, whether the Storm Prediction Center is giving any information on that. When we had the Bassfield tornado going back 5 years ago, they were actually measuring the winds using different equipment to see what kind of tornado we were dealing with. But this is a confirmed tornado, a dangerous, with catastrophic damage possible as it's moving through Sartonville, Carmike, and then eventually the Hawthorne and Society Hill areas. So in these areas, again, it's so important. If you have family or friends anywhere in this area, this is the time to call them and just say, are you following what's going on? All right, so the damage we're getting reports are from Paradise Trailer Park in Walthall County. So there are overturned campers, there are people trapped, and that may explain what Chase was seeing with emergency vehicles racing in that direction. So this is the situation that is playing out right now in southern Lawrence County, extreme northeastern Walthall County. This is near the Sartonville area, Highway 27. A tornado emergency has been declared. This also includes Bassfield, the Carson community, and Prentice. So there's some decent populations in this area, and it's right now a debris ball. That is a well-defined debris ball.
Very well-defined.
It's been consistent. This is the long-track tornadoes, right, that we've been talking about, that we've been fearing, that we are saying would happen this afternoon, and this is what's materializing right now. So what are you seeing, Elise, with this debris ball? It's a large one, and it's a solid one.
It is a large and a solid debris ball, and it's shifted a little bit more north. So initially it was going a little bit more east. It's picked up a little bit more northeast as far as its direction is concerned, and it looks like it is going to continue on into the Carmike community near Prentice, near Cantwell Hill, Bassfield. Now Silver Creek, you may wind up on the opposite side of that, and actually they just trimmed down this warning just a little bit to kind of more define this tornado emergency and who's going to be under this tornado emergency. So Silver Creek, you are not in the tornado emergency, but Hawthorne, Carmike, you guys are. They're going to continue this again for Lawrence, Jeff Davis, and Marion counties. We also have other tornado warnings that are out right now, so we don't want to forget about you guys. But our major concern right now is, of course, this tornado that's entering northeastern Walthall County. It's right over Darbin right now. Potentially, we did have reports of that tornado still on the ground from Kentwood all the way up to the Salem community, and that is quite a ways. There's now a new tornado that's been issued, tornado warning, near Kentwood again. That's going to follow the same path, headed up toward Tylertown, southeastern Pike County, southwestern Walthall County. You're starting back over here under a new tornado warning for a different cell that's going to follow this same path essentially, and that's how we ended up under this tornado emergency that's now going to be stretching into Lawrence, Jeff Davis, and Marion counties. They've canceled the tornado warning for you in Simpson County. That's where you need to stay in your safe place. And again, this is the most defined tornado that again has been confirmed to be on the ground. There continues, Dave, to be a very serious debris ball. I
want to put you on the spot if I can, Elise. The 3D slice that I was showing you how to do this morning. Can you 3D slice that storm, but also maybe 3D slice it, do it this way, but also maybe 3D slice it in the debris side as well. Look how tall this one's. Let's go back and forth over it. You can kind of see how tall this storm goes into the sky. Why am I doing this? I'm trying to identify where the debris is, and it looks like it's lofting debris. Can you see that horizontal bridge there? That looks like it's putting the debris over 20,000 feet in the sky. That is a significant tornado, and that's why I just don't want to underscore what's going on here. Okay, that is a serious storm. I don't know if you'll be able to do it on that one. Maybe not.
It won't let me.
Yeah, but that is significant. When you're seeing debris at that altitude, okay, this storm is lifting debris 4 miles into the sky. That is impressive. So may not be letting you do it in this particular mode, so we may be pushing the system to the limits there. But I just wanted to challenge you on that. I'm sorry about that. But at least you give us an idea. Tornado emergency in effect for southern Lawrence, southeastern Lawrence, and southwestern Jefferson Davis County. It includes Prentiss, Carson, as well as Bassfield. It includes the Sartonville area in Walthall County. It is just east of JS. It is including, though, Carmike and Oakvale. And this area is, again, a very dangerous situation. The debris signature with this tornado is going to go into the northwestern part of Marion County first. It's going to dip in through Marion County, and we think it's going to clip somewhere in the extreme southeastern part of Lawrence County, or more likely southwestern sections of Jefferson Davis County. So that's the story there. But again, this is the National Weather Service is characterizing this as a large and violent tornado entering the area now at the intersection of Lawrence, Marion, and Walthall counties. Brad, what are you saying? I'm sorry. Okay, let's go to our cam in Monticello. We're going to have to look at distance on this. We're in the rain, so we're not going to be able to see the tornado from this particular vantage point. But again, we have a tornado emergency in effect for southeastern Lawrence, northeastern Walthall, and southern Jefferson Davis County, a dangerous storm at that. So, you know, this is significant. This is a very big tornado, folks, because when you're seeing debris like we've been seeing it, that's the thing. So just keep that in mind. Also, you know, looks like we have some pictures coming in. Look like a potential tornado very close to Puckett a short time ago. That would have been the same storm, right? That moved into Scott County. So that's the story on that one as well. We are moving towards right now. We're moving our vehicle, one of our storm tracker vehicles, we're moving it currently into the southeastern part of Rankin County, so we're going to catch up with that. But that debris ball is still persisting. And look at that.
Yeah,
right
but
there.
I do want to say for Walthall County, you're now out of the tornado emergency. That has been trimmed back to only Lawrence, Marion, and Jeff Davis counties. So you're out of the tornado emergency, but another strong tornado appears to be potentially pushing your direction. And again, that's just near Kentwood at this time. So we're going to be watching that closely too. But this is a relentless storm, Dave.
Yeah.
That's right over Carmike right now, or is almost to Carmike. So Oakvale, Hathorne, if you're on Society Hill Road, Bornham Road, along Highway 13 near Greens Creek Road, get in your safe place and stay there. Do not try to go anywhere else at this time. Keep in mind too that this is a radar view, so we have to wait for new scans to come in. So this is going to be a little bit delayed. And if you're watching this through live stream coverage, that is also going to be delayed. So when we say now, we mean 3 minutes ago, which means if you're in Prentiss, Bassfield, Dean, you need to get in your safe place now, and you need to stay there because we are going to be tracking this storm as it continues to push on. It does not look like it's going to be letting up anytime soon. The debris ball has yet to look any different, essentially. Same story with the rotation on this storm and with the hook. It has essentially the same look that it's had since it formed, again, very close to Kentwood, and has continued on now for quite a ways.
At least the Kentwood storm doesn't look as strong as this storm does right now. I'm trying to find some silver lining in here. But again, a dangerous storm nonetheless that is coming out of Louisiana and again taking aim at Tylertown. We still have a tornado emergency in effect for the area of southwestern Jefferson Davis County, southeastern Lawrence County. That means a dangerous storm with catastrophic potential, a large tornado on the ground right now that is currently moving through the Carmike area. Let's go farther north. I've got a little good news to share with you. Let's go back to the one that really stands out here. And that tornadic signature, again, we don't get too many tornado emergencies issued for systems like this, but that one is the real deal. Let's do a hail tracker on it real quick. I just want to kind of give it the once-over. The hail's not too big with this, quarter-size hail. That purple box indicates where the tornado emergency is located. That includes Prentiss, Arm, Carmike, Bassfield, and the Carson community, as well as Society Hill. And that's the next place that's going to be impacted by this tornadic part of the storm. The storm is a big thunderstorm, so the whole area is going to be impacted. But as far as the tornadic part of the storm, that's what we're most concerned about. If you live near Highway 13 or Highway 42 in Jefferson Davis County, this is where you need to take cover immediately. And you know, you have a horrible history with tornadoes in Bassfield, obviously. We want you to be very safe. You know to take this seriously. Just ride this one out. It should be over with within the next half hour, 45 minutes. But again, a dangerous storm with the potential for catastrophic damage. And that's why a tornado emergency has been declared for Jefferson Davis, as well as southeastern Lawrence County and northwestern Marion County. And the debris ball maintains. It is still there. It is crossing Highway 587 right now. I mean, this storm is a doozy, and it's moving just through the Carmike community. It will be entering near Hawthorne and the southwestern section of Jefferson Davis County here in the next few minutes. We are plotting out the debris ball, and this could be near Prentice here in about 20 minutes. All right, so this is a dangerous storm. When you have a debris ball, that's confirmation of damage. It's been lifting up debris, whether it be pieces of homes, whether it be trees, whether it be just anything on the ground. Right now, that is what we're seeing out there. And so these are places in front of the storm. Burnham Road, Highway 13, Highway 43. These are areas that are going to be impacted by this. So again, a very dangerous situation, and we can't stress that enough. We give you tornado warnings quite often here in Mississippi. Tornado emergencies, not so much. I can probably count on one hand how many times we've had them in the last 15 years or so. But there is the actual storm cell. Easy to make out when you're looking at the debris ball here, and easy to make out even from a radar signature. It just lifted a little bit more northeastward. We're also watching that storm now that is southwest of Tylertown. That one's getting closer to the border now and about to jump the border into Mississippi. But again, I feel for you here in Tylertown and Progress. You just got hit by this storm, and we have had reports of campers damaged at least, and maybe worse than that. There are people that were trapped, and Chase observed on the cam that there were some emergency vehicles that were going down that path. We think we probably saw that tornado on our cam. It was hard to make out. It was in the distance. There was a tree line, but we could see almost like a V in the sky, a dark V, and then you could see the clouds were rotating around it if you look close at the TV screen. And that's where we really thought the tornado was located, just west of downtown Tylertown, just northwest of down. That's the Paradise, I think Paradise Valley campground, if I'm saying that correctly. They're continuing this tornado emergency. I just want to read this to you here. We've got an update that's coming in right now. Southeastern Lawrence, northwest Marion, southwest Jefferson Davis counties. This is going until 1:45, another half hour or so. A confirmed large and destructive tornado is over the Oak Vale community. That is 12 miles northwest of Columbia. It is moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. So that's where Oak Vale is, right there on your screen. It's right on the edge of your screen. And that's going to be moving closer to Prentice here before long. The hazard is a deadly tornado. It is a confirmed tornado on the ground. It will be near Arm, Progress, Oak Vale, Society Hill, and Carson now, and eventually Bassfield and Prentice within the next 10 minutes. Okay, so this is a large, extremely dangerous, and potentially deadly tornado on the ground. What you should do, if you live in Dean or Bassfield or over through Prentice, now is the time to get to your safe place. You have a few minutes to do it. Get to your safe place now. Get away from windows, crouch down. Go for a bathtub if you have that. If you have an interior bathroom, go for that bathtub. Cover yourself up. If you've got helmets, put helmets on. Okay, but this is a serious situation. You only get a debris ball because there's debris showing up on the radar. Why does it show up on the radar? Because it looks bigger and it looks different than a raindrop. And it stands out here. And we've had this tornado. This is a long track tornado, folks. These are the ones that we dread. They are moving right now through the Arm area and south of Silver Creek, very close to Oak Vale. So we have to pay very close attention to this general area right here, this whole general area around Oak Vale, because we're seeing debris in the sky. It's getting a little bit of what we call scatter to it, but bottom line is this is the area that we're watching. Yeah,
Dave. So we again have a few other areas that we're watching that could have some potential to them. Nothing at this time looks as serious as this storm that has the tornado emergency on it. Again, that's for Lawrence and Jeff Davis counties and Marion County, if you happen to be watching us there. Progress, Mississippi, you're dealing with another potentially tornadic storm as well that came out of Kentwood, and that warning stretches just outside of Tylertown. You're not under the tornado warning at this moment, but it is possible that they expand that to again include you. We also have 2 other tornado warnings ongoing for southeastern Rankin County. That doesn't mean that it couldn't become potentially tornadic, because that's what we're expecting from these storms as we head into the next few hours. So you need to stay in your safe place and stay on the weather alert. It does appear that maybe you're done with the severe threat, at least in the southern delta. So in Issaquena, in Sharkey, or in Humphreys counties, in Yazoo County, while you're still dealing with some rain, you may be also done with the severe threat for now. Same story, Port Gibson, Fayette, and Natchez. But we're going to continue to track these cells as they push on to the east. And we do have a few more that are continuing to billow up from the south and the west that are going to move to the north and east. So Brookhaven, you're about to get some stormy weather. Same story for you in Crystal Springs and Hazelhurst. We may get another little round of storms pushing through the metro area, although nothing that we've seen move through the metro this afternoon has looked like it's had any kind of rotation or potentially damaging nature to it, other than potentially some small hail, Dave.
So the story looks like this. To give you the symmetry, we think if you're close to the Mississippi River, the dynamics have now moved east. Because we're just not seeing the build back or the redevelopment, if you will, of these thunderstorms along the Mississippi River. If you're along Interstate 55, you're still at that on the heel of the storm, I would say. But eastern, if you drew a line and you divided the state from east to west, the eastern half of the state is the part that's going to get the worst of the problems as we go through the next couple of hours. I still think by 4 o'clock we're probably out of this. That's the way it's shaping up right now. I don't want to, be too wishful in my thinking, but I think by 4 p.m. most of this weather will have moved on to the east. Couple things I want to do maintenance-wise. Anae or Chase, if you can gather some storm reports for us, we'd love for you to maybe present some of the storm reports that we're getting from across the area here. So we could do that.
So I have some verbally. I'm not mic'd up, but I
Talk to his mic then.
I got you.
Trees down in Pelahatchie. So that's the storm that was moving through Rankin County. We do have reports from, I believe, the emergency manager. Let me look back.
We also have confirmation of confirmed damage reports down in Tylertown, just past Highway 98, where there are multiple trees down, cars flipped over, and as it crossed over that highway. So that was just to the south of Tylertown. We have confirmation reports of the Salem community just to the north side of Tylertown. So earlier we saw 2 separate debris signatures that could have been possibly linked to the one further off to the south, because whenever you looked at the radar, it looked to be 2 separate cells that could have possibly been moving through there.
Yeah.
And also from much earlier in the day, the storm that moved through Issaquena County, so near the Myersville community.
I'm afraid if we stay in Puckett, we'd be in the line of those storms that are coming from the southwest. So we certainly don't want to do that. So that's our plan right now. Nothing so far in this part of Rankin County, just a few minutes away from Puckett, and I'll let you know when we get there.
All right, and we'll go back and check in with you, of course, as we go through it. Let's get an update now on what we're seeing as far as that storm approaching Tylertown. Are we seeing another debris ball? Or is it
looks
just scatter?
like it, Dave.
Oh,
It potentially. Now, there's not been any confirmation on that as far as I know. I'm going to check really quickly.
Yeah,
with
that's
the,
Stallings Bridge Road and Progress Lexi Road. This is just east of Progress. What happens a lot of times, folks, is the radar beam will scatter sometimes, and so you get this reflection. It may look like a debris ball. We're going to match it up before we do anything on it. But I will tell you this, the other thing we've been tracking, it's been a debris ball the whole time. I mean, we've had no question about it.
Absolutely.
And that's what we really pay attention to is these storms. And there, it looks like it's gotten bigger.
Yeah,
to be honest with you. It is moving in on Prentice right now. It is moving in on Prentice as we speak, and so a dangerous storm developing out there. We're looking at this from 2 different angles, so understand things don't always match up. Tornadoes aren't straight up and down to the ground. They squiggle, they wiggle, and so when you're looking at it too from different angles, you're going to see it, but it looks worse right now, excuse me, from the south end of town. All right, so what are we showing you here? We're showing you how tall the storm gets into the sky. The taller it is, typically the worse it is. because it's a stronger storm. And we're breaking 30,000 feet here, which is about 6 miles, 5-6 miles in the sky easily. We've got a lot of red in the core. This is a very mature thunderstorm out there, and we're just looking for any signs. Sometimes we can look for what's called a hail core, but this might be where the tornadic signature is. You see what I'm pointing my finger out there? You just had it there for a second.
Yes.
But bottom line is, there's a hook echo right here. You could see it well defined on the radar. So that is something that is undeniable. Again, very intense storm nonetheless. Raleigh's out of the tornado warning. Just want to show Scott County for a second. Now also the tornado warnings have subsided. It's just the Lake community. I say just, you know what I'm saying. Lake is the only community right now in Scott County that is under a tornado warning. This will expire soon. And let's go farther south if you can.
Well, they are going to, Dave, I did want to tell you they're planning on expanding this morning into Walthall County. Again, the areas that were just under that tornado emergency. So unfortunately, you're going to be back under a tornado warning. This time, it's not a tornado emergency, but it doesn't matter. You need to treat it the same way. So we are expecting, and they just said that they're planning that downstream warning, so we're going to have to give it a few minutes before they can actually draw it up and get it sent out. But it is likely going to include Tylertown, Salem, Dinan, Darbin, areas that, again, were just under, and here they go. They've just issued it. So again, same areas, Dinan, Tylertown, Holmesville, you're out of this. Lennon, you're out of this, but Salem, Darbin, along Highway 27 throughout Walthall County, you're going to be back under a tornado warning here for this storm that, again, is following a very similar track. It doesn't look as impressive as the one that continues to hold a very strong signature and a debris ball that's moving now through parts of Jeff Davis County, and that is approaching Bassfield. So a heads up to you if you're along Highway 42, between Prentice or Bassfield. If you live in Lone Star or Dean along Highway 84, that's north of Prentice, this is going to be approaching you very quickly. This storm was moving at about 45 miles per hour earlier on, and could potentially still be moving that quickly.
And so I'm just noticing here the tornado warning continues now for, I'm just looking here, tornado warning continues now for parts of Jefferson, Davis County. Let me just back out of this for a second here. Things are updating very quickly on my screen, as you can imagine. Considerable damage threat. This is the latest report now. Tornado warning for northwestern Marion, southeastern Lawrence counties is canceled. It is now just a tornado warning. It is no longer a tornado emergency. I want to make that distinction, okay? But it is a tornado warning for Jefferson, Davis County. This is moving towards Carson. Literally, the post office in Carson right there on Highway 42 is in the path of this storm. And that's where it's going to go, right between the Prentice area and the Bassfield area. So take this extremely seriously. Tornado warning remains in effect until 1:45 p.m. for Jefferson, Davis County. The storm is just about over Carson, and it's moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. The hazard here is damaging tornado. Weather spotters have confirmed a tornado. We are watching a debris ball that is also moving northeastward too. Carson, Lone Star, and Clem are in the path of this storm. So a tornado warning in effect. A new tornado warning now also in effect, as Elise was just mentioning, for Walthall County. And this is the 1-2 punch, so to speak, again. And we're seeing, it looks to me like that one's organizing. Am I right, Elise? It looks like that one's getting a little bit better organized in the western part of Tylertown. And this is getting close to the same path of the first tornado.
It is. It came out of the same area. Right near Kentwood is where it kind of got its curve, so to speak, and made its way right toward Progress, right over Progress. Now, it doesn't look all that defined from just the radar view, but you can certainly tell that there is an easy to spot area of potential rotation that's now moving right on Highway 48. That's just west of Tylertown, but Tylertown, you're under the expansion of this tornado warning, or the extension rather, and up along Highway 27. Dinan just outside of this, but I would stay in your safe place there. In Darbin, in Cardo, in Salem, along Highway 585. Again, you're under a tornado warning, and this does appear to be doing some organizing for sure. We'll take a look at the hail tracker. Now, this is over the last hour, so this could potentially be from the previous storm. So let me just trim up the time on it, and
Yeah,
maybe
if we
it'll
can,
take
maybe
away
back
just
it
a
up
little
just
bit.
a little bit. But bottom line is, these are hail producers, these storms. And guys in the back, if we can, let's pull up the, when we get a chance, we'll pull up that camera again for the Tylertown area so we can see that storm a little bit better. The other news to share with you is Scott County no longer has a tornado warning. So the only tornado warnings that we have right now are southeastern Pike, most of Walthall, and Jefferson Davis counties. So that's our focus right now. We're back now. Nope, that's Monticello, guys. Let's pull up Tylertown. And if we can, get a second, you go to just Tylertown one, that'd be great. And in Tylertown, we're going to be looking off the west. Look at this, Chase. Guys, look at that. Anae, here we go again. Is this deja vu? I mean,
Same
look at
track.
that.
Same track.
Same track. I don't know if you want to, if you can bump in a little bit, or that would actually make it worse. But bottom line is rotating sky, and looks like it's going right through the trees again. We're looking west. Notice that power truck's been there for a while with his flashing lights on. I guess he's waiting it out to make sure that he's not in the path of the, otherwise that's going to create a whole other problem. We've got a low-hanging sky right there, and it looks like that could be a tornadic signature in the distance again.
It does.
Unbelievable. It's rare, that you catch one on a camera. It's even more rare that you catch two
In a row.
minutes after each other in the same place. So they're coming to us. We're not really looking for this stuff. We're getting some rain, obviously, on the camera lens there, folks. Looks like the storm's now moving northwest of Tylertown. We're looking due west, if I'm not mistaken, on Highway 98.
Yeah, so I do want to say here, Dave, looks like in Pike County, that storm has now passed you by. It is very strongly rooted now in Walthall County, again, just west of Tylertown, what we were just showing you. So we'll wait and see if they're going to let this old warning expire. It does expire at 1:45, which is in 15 minutes, so they may end up canceling it since it's now firmly into the new warning that extends throughout Walthall County, but it does not at this time stretch into Lawrence or Jeff Davis counties. But Jeff Davis County, you still are under a tornado warning for the original storm. And when we see this storm that's in Walthall County from the Jackson radar, it looks a little bit more defined, but that's because it's further away, and you're seeing the winds and the rotation much higher in the atmosphere. But in Bassfield, or just over Carson right now, that is a little bit closer to the radar, and so that does appear to be still a very strong tornado that's continuing. There's still a debris ball. There's some scattered, maybe clutter that appears to be going on near Prentice or Clem. But in Carson, again, you continue to be under a tornado warning. Prentice, you were just shaved out of that. But Bassfield, Lone Star, get in your safe place and stay there. Same story in Dean along Highway 35, because that's where this storm is going to be headed next.
Find it hard to believe they're not going to downstream this tornado warning. They're not going to issue it for for counties farther out. So I would not be surprised if this keeps going on. This could be for Smith County eventually at some point too, with the trajectory that it's taking. It's a very small area that's under this tornado warning right now. It is literally crossing Highway 42, very close to the center of town where Carson lies, right there on 42 in Jefferson Davis County. So don't be surprised about that. Then we've got that storm that is now just northwest of Tylertown, and that is moving across. It's going to be going very close to Highway 27 here in about the next 10 minutes. Salem, here we go again. This is where the storm is located out to the west. So that's going to be moving through there as well. Again, just a dangerous situation that continues to play out. I'm getting some new information here for you. 7 miles southeast of Prentice in Jefferson Davis County, now moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. All these places that have tornado warnings. I'm talking to you in Pike and Jefferson Davis counties. Take cover. Don't play games with this. We have people that have been potentially injured. We have significant damage that has been reported, especially from the storm earlier in western Walthall County. And now here we are. We literally have the storm coming very close to where the second storm coming very close to where the first storm was located. So definitely take cover, if you will. Chase Franks, you had something to...
Yeah, we've lost power in a good portion of Tylertown, and we actually don't have access to that
so
camera anymore.
The camera went
Yes,
out.
the camera went out.
So can you give us an idea, what are we looking like on power outages, guys, across the whole region? I'd be curious to know that.
I did have that pulled up. So we're now up to 18,000
18,000 right now.
Okay, so that's 18,000 customers statewide. I believe we have a map that we can show
In
to everyone.
Walthall County, 2,600
Out of?
that are without power.
Out of, what's the total number out of?
Out of 9,000.
Okay, so about a third of the county is currently out of power, Walthall County. And you can see that we have several counties that have been hit rather hard. Walthall's been hit pretty hard. The north central part of Mississippi has been hit rather hard. That's we're talking about Grenada, Greenwood, Elliott, which is a town that's been mentioned a couple of times today. Claiborne County, Sharkey County, a lot of places are without power too. You're seeing Walthall County there on the screen we were just showing you. Also, we have video coming in. This is from Rankin County of storm damage, and I believe, guys, if I'm not mistaken, it's the southeastern part of Rankin County. This is video, yeah, and this is from Sheriff Brian Bailey. Appears that we're seeing video here actually, and this is from earlier, and it looks like. I was looking at this picture a little earlier. You could see the cell coming on by. That would have been almost the tornadic part of the cell. I know where this is in southeastern Rankin County, so that's why I'm saying that. But if you look through the trees are not our friend today, are they? No. They're blocking every kind of vantage point that we can see. And so, but we have had a chance to show you 2 tornadoes really on video, it seems, a live video. Which is a rarity, but putting our First Alert Skycam network to work today, and unfortunately it looks like we may have to be replacing the camera in Walthall County.
Well, Dave, I do want to tell you they've extended now the tornado warning for the storm that's in Jeff Davis County that was right over Carson just recently, that's now headed very near the Lone Star community. That's going to stretch out and back into Smith County. So if you're in Taylorsville, then your first alert here that you need to be in your safe place. You're now under a tornado warning. They're keeping a considerable damage threat on this. It's not a tornado emergency, but they are going to be extending that with a considerable damage tag because there does appear to still be a tornado on the ground. That was the one that passed through Tylertown just earlier. Now, I also will tell you, right behind it, the same path, if you're in Jeff Davis County, you're still going to be under a tornado warning even as this storm moves out because there's another one that's following the exact same path that's right near Tylertown at this time. It's going to push through Marion County, back up into Jeff Davis County, essentially still following that same path that was laid out for it. And
they are going with a TDS, a tornado debris signature on the storm near Tylertown now. Folks, lightning does strike twice in the same place, apparently. That's what we're learning today because we are now seeing 2 debris ball signatures, okay, and they literally have mirrored each other. The one storm earlier today almost went through the same place, and now we have another tornado debris signature. That's what we call the debris ball that is crossing Highway 27 in Walthall County. Purple boxes, not something you want to see. That means an observed tornado, confirmed tornado on the ground, now about to move across Highway 27. Again, just unbelievable that the storm that went through here less than an hour ago is now being replaced by another storm almost taking an identical path to it. So this is the corridor, all right, where we're getting the worst of this weather. We now have a tornado warning that has been extended farther northeast. Let's go into where this tornado warning goes. We got to get a lot of folks ready here, all right? Carmike, here we go again. Hawthorne. We're back in Jefferson Davis County. You're under a tornado warning again. Then we go a little bit farther out. Let's take a look at where this storm in Jefferson Davis County goes because now we've got areas of Smith County. I told you this was going to happen. And now southern Smith County around Taylorsville. We're looking at that. Mize, you're on the edge of this tornado warning. You need to pay attention, though, as these storms are moving northeastward. Raleigh, you are not in this tornado warning. But again, a tornado warning out for southern Smith County. And now for Jefferson Davis County again. And then we're looking at Lawrence County, the southern, extreme southern part of Lawrence County, and then go farther south into Walthall County. That's where we have this tornado debris signature that is currently showing up. And it's just north of Tylertown. So if you're in Tylertown proper, breathe a little bit. You're okay for the time being, but unfortunately, you've got this debris ball that is showing up just north of town on Highway 27. And again, it's just uncanny. You just don't see this very often when you have tornadoes mirroring each other. By the way, I have some additional information. This is something else. The storm that's in Jefferson Davis County that had the large debris ball to it, the debris was going up about 3 miles in the sky.
Yeah, I just read that. And I also do want to say here, I know we don't necessarily cover this area, but there does appear to be a radar-suggested tornado that could be impacting the city of Newton here very shortly. I know we do get a few people that watch from Newton, so just a first alert, a heads up for you there. We're not going to take a lot of time on it, but there does appear to be a tornado that's going to be in your vicinity very shortly, or potentially already could be. But we do still have 2 tornadoes that we're tracking, one in Jefferson Davis County, and that is about to move out into Marion County. Excuse me.
Yeah. I know what you meant.
Yeah.
We've got just, debris is now going 12,000 feet in the sky in Walthall County. It is now up to 12,000 feet in the sky in Walthall County. That is crossing Highway 27. All right. So this is a dangerous storm, just about as bad as the first one. It is developing. It is maturing as it's getting farther north of Tylertown. But now debris is making it more than 2 miles into the sky. These are intense tornadoes, folks. These are just not run-of-the-mill tornadoes. So please understand that. Also, the Bethel community in Marion County reporting significant damage in that area. So we're just lining things up here. Again, we got one storm that's now moving into Covington County. Come on back here to me on radar if you can. One storm that's going into Covington County. That's this storm here that's going to be cutting across Highway 84 very soon. And then we've got the other one that's near the Darbin area on Highway 27. And they're almost mirroring each other. They're literally following one path following the other. This is just the corridor where these storms are located. But both of these storms are intense. Typically, you have one making the atmosphere uncomfortable for the other. These, it doesn't matter.
Feeding off of
it's crazy.
the leftovers.
Right, they're feeding off all that energy, and I think this is why we're seeing all the focus be there. Tornado debris signature now showing up, moving into Covington County. So we've got the debris signature here that's leaving Jefferson Davis. Prentice, you are no longer under a tornado warning, so you could feel a little bit better about this. We are going to watch this storm near Darbin. It's moving towards Carmike, and it's going to continue moving towards eventually the Carson area. We're going through this again, right? Carson, Bassfield possibly, and we'll have to see what happens with this warning as they expand it, because it's going to be downstream, especially if it continues to have this debris signature. Well, the good news is we got our Tylertown camera back, but if we can point it north, probably the storm is gaining a little bit too much distance from us at this point, but at least we got the power restored to it, so that's the good news. You can see overcast skies there right now. But this is a very active area. So what I'd like to do, Elise, is let's show the radar for just about the whole area, because we've got a lot of folks that are in central Mississippi and that are probably wondering, okay, what about me? You're talking a lot about these areas. At this point, it seems to me the axis of the storm, even though you're seeing storms back here in northeastern Louisiana, you can see around Monroe, we're seeing that line of storms that continues there. That really isn't showing severe characteristics. So it almost seems that along the Mississippi River, the severe threat has pretty much subsided, and the axis of this storm system is right up and down I-55. And then east of there is where we're getting these long track tornadoes. I mean, we have a history right here, don't we? These long track tornadoes developing.
And I will tell you, Dave, they're saying now that the tornado debris signature with the storm in Walthall County up to around 17,000 feet right now.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That is an intense tornado. Understand, folks, what it's taking, the amount of energy it takes to lift debris that far into the sky. That is showing how strong of a tornado this is. So please take these storms seriously if you're in that area. Tylertown, you're no longer under a tornado warning. There's good news for you in that. But the tornado warning continues right now for northeastern sections of Walthall County, southern Lawrence County, southeastern Lawrence County, not Monticello, and Jefferson Davis County for Carson, as well as the Bassfield area. And then we have a tornado warning in effect for southern Smith County. We need you to get ready in Taylorsville. Need you to get ready in Mize, at least in that area. If you live between Taylorsville and Mize, that is the area that's going to be at risk from the first one and then possibly the second one if it holds together. This area of south central Mississippi is where all the action is right now as far as tornado warnings are concerned. We're not ignoring the rest of the area. While there are thunderstorms going on, there are no signs of tornadic characteristics. And that's certainly some good news. But we've got 2 debris signatures. You could see not too much happening in central Mississippi. We go back to regular radar just to show folks what's happening in the metro area. Yeah, we've got thunderstorms, but that's really it. None of them are just showing those characteristics at this point. They're not tapping into that energy.
Right. It does appear all of the energy, making its way now east with those tornado warnings. We do still have some severe thunderstorm warnings out there, so I'll point those out for you. Capaya and Lincoln counties. There are some loud noise With that, again, potentially some hail, but this is where most of the energy is still going to be confined and where, again, we do still have tornado warnings ongoing. So we'll take a closer look at them for you. One of these potential tornadoes right over Darbin right now. That's going to be moving into Marion County here shortly and then back into Jeff Davis County. Then we've got a tornado that has been confirmed to previously have been on the ground. We do have a debris signature still with this, although it is not as defined as it was just a little while ago, but that's just to the north of Dean. That's actually outside of Jeff Davis County, although you remain under a tornado warning. And that storm is expected to continue and make its way into southern Smith County, impacting Taylorsville and potentially the Mize community. Depends on if it takes a little bit more of a northward shift or it stays on its current track. So if it stayed on its current track, it would be headed right for Taylorsville. We're getting debris reports from Collins of debris falling from the clouds near Highway 84. And we do now have a severe thunderstorm warning also for Holmes and parts of Madison and Atala counties. So just a heads up there as well. Remember, we just took a look at that, and it's just a line of storms that doesn't really have any rotation to it, but could be producing some damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour or even some hail. There has been history of hail in these storms as large as about ping pong ball sized hail, $half sized hail. Anything like that. So our main concern still remains these potential tornadoes that were previously on the ground, one of them, and that did have debris balls associated with them, and one of them still does right over Darbin. The secondary potential debris ball that was just near Dean appears to have kind of dissipated a little bit.
That is good news. Let's get some good news out of this, okay?
Absolutely.
I mean, we have some storm damage earlier, by the way, from the lower delta. That's where things were active overnight. And this morning, Chase and Danae were covering that for you this morning. This is video. Look at this. These are pictures and video coming in from Issaquena County. And this is from Noel Whiteside. Appreciate you sending that in. Significant roof damage there. Look at all the trees around this house. Hopefully the house didn't suffer too much damage in this particular picture. Again, Noel sent that to us. That's the roof damage there. And then we also now have some new video coming in from Simpson County. This is Allie Welch supplying us with video from Simpson County. You can see the very dark skies there, potential tornado that came through the Mendenhall area a little while ago. I have had a lot of reports of trees down in Simpson County. And again, if you have pictures or videos you'd like to send us, make sure you send them to our free First Alert Weather app. Just open the app, slide right down to the bottom of the screen, send it in. Again, only send your pictures and videos that you take, and send them if you could do so safely. Not interested if you risk your life. I don't want you to be on the news twice in the same day. So send the pictures, send the videos if you can do so safely. If you can't, not interested, but thank you for your time. We are covering this as a team effort this afternoon with severe weather striking much of central and southwestern Mississippi. Our WLBT First Alert Storm Tracker is out right now, tracking the storms in Scott County for us this afternoon with meteorologist Todd Adams.
Hey, we are just north of Puckett, y'all, and headed toward Morton along the highway. We're not seeing much of any damage. I spoke to a couple of folks while we were in Puckett, and they did say just limb damage mainly. Saw some EMA vehicles just returning back from doing some survey, it looked like. But we're headed north on 13, and I believe we go through or close to Polkville with this. We are seeing some limb debris. I mean, to be easily found on the highway. Not sure about on the offside roads, but we are continuing to head toward Morton from that previous storm that had come through here, and to see if we can locate any damage.
All right, meteorologist Todd Adams in our First Alert Storm Tracker. Thanks so much for keeping us updated. This is how the radar looks right now. The back edge of the storm system is located here in northeastern Louisiana. Ahead of it, we're not seeing too much happening along the Mississippi River. Seems like a little bit of a lull, or there just isn't the instability, excuse me. There's stability. The instability has shifted eastward. We told you about this transition that we said would be happening during the course of the day today. First, we'd start off with the storms closer to the river. That's what we did, why the lower delta was under numerous tornado warnings several hours ago. Then as we progress through the day, we had those warnings expand eastward, okay? And you could see that it's been a bigger problem right now for south central Mississippi and the eastern part of the state. These storms are just reaching eastern Mississippi.
And Dave, we do have a new tornado warning that I want to tell you about. There's 2 warnings coming from the National Weather Service office in New Orleans right now. One of them that stretches just south of Walthall County, but one that now goes through Imminent and Pike counties. And this does include the city of Macomb. It includes Magnolia and Terry's Creek along I-55 through Pike County and all the way down toward Osaka. You're actually going to be back in a tornado warning there now as well. This includes Gillsburg. Easleyville is essentially where this storm is at right now. That's going to be traveling to the north and the east. Same trajectory as we've been tracking these storms in all morning and afternoon. I say all afternoon, it seems like we've been here a long time. It's only 1:45, you guys, but we have had multiple tornado warnings, and we have another one again that now stretches through Imminent into Pike County and actually does stretch into Walthall County. This is outside of Tylertown and almost to Dinan, but it does stop at Lincoln County. So we'll be tracking that storm as it potentially makes its way up into our area here in the next little bit. I'll get you some information on that. Again, that includes parts of Imminent, Pike, and Walthall counties. That is near northeastern St. Helena Parish in southern Louisiana right now. But we are expecting to potentially see that move near Magnolia around 2:05, near Macomb around 2:15. So that gives you about a 30-minute heads up. Right now it's 1:48. So 2:15, Macomb, you could see this storm pushing its way into your direction if it holds together, that is. And we're going to be watching it closely because it's moving into that primed environment that these 2 other potential tornadoes, well, one of them is not a potential tornado, it was a tornado emergency that those storms just pushed through. This is the same environment, still has the same characteristics, which means these storms will have the potential to take on those same characteristics as well.
And I don't want to jinx it, but maybe the luckiest place in central and southwest Mississippi today is right here.
In the metro.
In the metro area, because we haven't really had any activity at all. We've had some occasional showers, we had some hail in Brandon, but we just haven't had anything tornadic, so it seems like all that's kind of happened around us, but not over us. Okay, I hope I didn't jinx it. Like I said, we do have a tornado warning in effect for Pike, as well as Walthall counties and southern Imminent counties. We have a tornado warning for southern Jefferson Davis County and southeastern sections of Lawrence County. Again, this goes back to your Society Hill area, Oakvale, and includes just about over through Bassfield. We're just outside of Bassfield with this storm. Well-defined signature. Nice hook echo there. That is just south of Carmike that continues to move northeastward. It is taking advantage of the very unstable environment that's in that area. So keep that in mind. Also now we have an observed tornado on this storm. That is coming out of Covington County. Is that right? Going into Smith County?
Mm-hmm. That's right, Dave.
All right, if we can, just take that off the screen just so I can show folks that area. But this goes until 2:30. 5,500 folks are involved in that. That's the tornadic cell that's right over Collins, just about. This is a well-defined thunderstorm that stretches from Mount Olive down through Collins. It will be near Hot Coffee very soon. Then Taylorsville and Mize is right there. Taylorsville is going to be in the path of this tornado. So that tornado warning continues for your area. We had a purple box on it before. Now it's not as serious, but you can see that the debris ball is harder to see now. We think it's kind of lifted a little bit maybe, but this could also be a cycle. So let's not fall for the trick, so to speak.
Right.
If it's a cycle, it could easily cycle back. This area has a history today of tornado producing storms, and we're still seeing this inflow and outflow. And anytime you see that, you know you've got your circulation there. We've got a good radar circulation on it. We've got a good circulation as far as the air is concerned. We can see the wind flow, and we've got the same thing going on near Carmike as well. This is the inflow and outflow again showing up. These are pretty big tornadoes. I mean, typically we see a very concentrated area on the radar, but these are pretty big areas. And if you can, go back to the debris ball on that one near Carmike, and it's still showing up.
Yeah, it is.
It's just about moving across 587 right now, and Highway 13's next.
Yep, in the Hathorne community, Highway 13. So at the moment in Bassfield and Lone Star and Dean, you're in a lull between tornado warnings, but if this one continues to hold that debris signature, then you will likely be back under a tornado warning here in the next few minutes as this storm continues to push on to the north and the east. And again, we're going to be tracking this storm following the same path. It does look like there may be somewhat of a debris signature over Hot Coffee right now. Taylorsville, that's going to be nearing you here very shortly. And this is the initial remember, tornado emergency storm that we were tracking. It has lost a little bit of its strength, but it does continue to make its way through and hold some of that circulation. And we've got 2 other storms that we're tracking here. It looks like there may be a debris ball with this one moving into Imminent County as well, Dave.
Yeah.
Right along Highway 584, you need to be in your safe place. And this is going to be making its way again toward Magnolia and Macomb. You're in this same warning as well. So your first alert, you need to be in your safe place. You have a few minutes before this makes it to you, but this could also wind up being a dangerous situation if we do have a tornado on the ground that's going to be moving again into central Pike County here in the next little bit.
So we've got a confirmed tornado with the storm that is currently moving. You can see here both white boxes. Those are confirmed tornado warnings that are in effect for Smith and Jefferson Davis counties. We then have a tornado warning that is now in effect for Imminent and Pike counties. What I want to tell you is this one is concerning because it's a little bit farther west. So pay attention. I would say if you drew a line today from Raleigh through McGee and to Macomb, it's south of that line, at least for the time being. That's where the worst of this weather continues to shape up. It continues to come together. We've got severe thunderstorm warnings too for Copiah and Simpson, as well as northern Lake counties. I'm sorry, go ahead. Okay. All right, WLBT's Nathan Lee is now standing by in Pike County and getting ready for this next storm coming in. Nathan, where are you in Pike County, and tell us what you're seeing right now? Nathan, can you hear me?
Hey, Dave, can you hear me?
I hear you just fine. What are you seeing? Tell us where you are in Pike County and tell us what's going on there.
Yeah, Dave, we're just outside of Summit. We're heading towards Macomb to get into that Tylertown area, and we pulled over when we got our tornado warning in this area. And I'm no expert, but we're seeing some really strange cloud activity out here right now. It is not looking good. It looks like some slight circulation. We're actually going to once we're off this call, we're actually going to go inside of this gas station we're next to, because it looks like we have some really strange activity when we were coming to this area. Heavy rain in the Bogachetta area, and yeah, this is looking very interesting. If you're in this area, get to your safe spot immediately. Very strange cloud activity, Dave.
All right, yeah, well, that makes sense considering what's going on there. We are monitoring the situation. You've got a storm that's coming into you very soon, within the next half hour or so stay safe there. We're going to check back with you for sure on anything that you're seeing there on the ground. You know, Elise, you were mentioning that you were seeing possibly another debris signature forming. That's probably it right there.
Yeah.
That is now in southeastern Imminent County outside Gillsburg. So if you're near Magnolia, really between Magnolia, the Percy Quinn State Park, and up through about Macomb, that little triangle I just created for you, this is something you're going to have to watch, especially I would say around Magnolia with the debris ball heading in that direction. Tornado warning currently in effect. They just narrowed that tornado warning too. I don't know if you saw that. So Tylertown, you're not under this tornado warning. Technically, it is west of town. And then you could see Macomb, much of Pike County is included in this. And you know, and then you could see the storm west of there as well. We were using our Market Max cam in Tylertown a short time ago. I want to thank Jeremy Holmes, by the way, for giving us the cams that we have there in that area, and we're going to be installing one very soon. As a matter of fact, we're expanding into the Macomb area very shortly, so that'll help us cover more storms in this area. But we were seeing it vividly. I mean, just something else. When you see 2 tornadoes on the same cam is not something you see very often, and we captured it today. Again, though, we are in this alley, if you will, this tornado alley that is set up today, and it seems to be focused on south central Mississippi and the lower Delta. The lower Delta has kind of checked out now because we're just not seeing the activity as much, but we are seeing thunderstorms that are out there nonetheless. And I just want to mention, we now have severe thunderstorm warnings that are going into effect for Madison County, as well as Yazoo, parts of Atala, and Holmes counties too. And then you can see Simpson County and Copiah counties have severe thunderstorm warnings. So there are these heavy showers around. There's one right now over the Yacht Club by the Res, if you want to go closer in on the metro, just show people what's going on. Something's definitely trying to form here. You could see it. And if we could put some motion on it, maybe get a better idea. But you can see this thunderstorm here is just blossoming, it looks like. It looks like it's just popping up overhead. So this is something we're going to watch, but that's producing some heavy rain along the Natchez Trace. That's a squiggly line here on your screen. We're seeing some heavy rain developing. And so we'll be paying attention to these storms, and we're also going to be paying attention, right, to what's going on here in Madison County, because the access, as I've been mentioning, is over I-55 right now. This is kind of the heels of this storm system, and then everything's kind of spreading out from where you're on your heels. That's where you're kind of getting your little momentum from. So we're going to pay very close attention to see if this area is now coming alive. Why? Hasn't been worked over yet by the storms. So if the instability is still overhead, that's going to be a problem, at least for the next hour or two. I still think it's 2 o'clock now. I think by 4 o'clock, a lot of this weather is going to be shifting eastward because the dynamics are shifting eastward and away.
Yeah, that does seem to be the case. But again, we do have a few areas of note that are starting to kind of shift into this direction, and that's that storm in southeastern Imminent County that's soon to be pushing into Pike County, and that's going to be making its way near Magnolia along Highway 51, potentially close to Macomb or Holmesville. So a first alert for you there that you need to be in your safe place still. Don't get out of your safe place in those spots just yet. We're going to continue to track that closely for you. I've got an update for you on this storm that was previously near the Carmike community. That was your second go-around with a potential tornado. It's now just past Hathorne, again along Highway 13. They have not expanded this tornado warning to include Bassfield again just yet, but they potentially could do that because both of these storms have kind of been cycling and have had a history of having a debris ball, which would essentially confirmed that there was potentially a tornado associated with them. So we're continuing to track that closely. This one near Hot Coffee looks a little bit more promising, and that's now going to be moving into the Taylorsville area. So stay in your safe place there. That's the most interior room of your home and a very in the lowest floor. Definitely, if you have a helmet, bring it with you, or a pot, put it over your head. Take a blanket, just get comfortable in the bathtub if that's going to be your safe place as a bathroom. Again, it's a room with more walls between you and the outside, as the most walls between you and the outside that you can find.
Yeah, when you're talking about flying debris, that's all that matters, folks, is getting in there, get in the bathtub if you have to, like she said. Taylorsville, Mize, please pay attention to this storm. Prepare, because it looks like this is cycling up again. It looks like it's spinning up, getting a little bit stronger. So I do want to alert you to that. You can see well-defined signatures we're seeing today on these storms. This one just across Hot Coffee be in Taylorsville before long. The other one southwest of there. Also, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning that's being put into effect for parts of the metro in those areas, but anywhere east of I-55, trouble. That's where these storms are blossoming. And here's the thing. There's not much happening in eastern Mississippi. There's not much happening on the coast. And that's because all this wind is basically pumping all the moisture and instability into these areas. So we've got tornado warnings right now for Pike County, tornado warning for Jefferson Davis, tornado warning for Smith counties, as we have tornadoes with even debris signatures on 2 of them. Make that 3, right? All 3 now have debris signatures on these storms.
And we are seeing some indications that these storms are ramping back up, especially, again, the one that was just near Hot Coffee that's now headed for southeastern Smith County. So Taylorsville, make sure you're in that safe place. Do not get out of it at this time. It does appear, again, that we have a debris ball right near Hot Coffee, and that's going to be making its way to Taylorsville. Same story with this storm that just moved itself out of the Carmike community. It is also looking like it wants to reorganize a little bit. You can see where it is. It's actually getting closer to Bassfield and the Highway 42 area. So while you're not under a tornado warning at this time, I would stay in your safe place. I wouldn't be surprised to see them extend this tornado warning to include you again after you just got out of one, I know, just a little while ago. So we're tracking multiple potential tornadoes at this time. Let's see if we can still get a debris signature. Doesn't look like we're getting that anymore with the storm that was near Galesburg. Appears to be losing some of that circulation, some of that organization. But these other storms don't appear to be doing that. So we're going to continue to watch them closely. I haven't really seen any other areas that look like they have any rotation going on, Dave. So just some strong thunderstorms that, again, probably have some hail associated with them. We have potential to see hail as large as 2 inches through the remainder of this afternoon. Also some heavy downpours, lots of lightning associated with these storms this afternoon. Look at all that lightning that's going on out there, and especially with the storms that have those potential tornadoes and with your severe thunderstorms that could be potentially producing winds up to or upwards of 60 miles per hour.
A lot of energy in the atmosphere today, a lot of energy for these storms to work with. By the way, the tornado is very close to Taylorsville right now. Confirmed large, extremely dangerous tornado located very close to Taylorsville in Smith County, approaching from the southwest at about 45 miles per hour. Damaging tornado is the main hazard. Okay, this is a radar confirmed tornado. We have had a history of seeing a debris ball with it, so take cover in Taylorsville now. Mize, while you are getting some very bad weather over you for the time being, you are not under a tornado warning. We do have a new revised, I guess, tornado warning, if you will. This doesn't go into Smith County, it goes into Covington County. This does include Bassfield. So Bassfield in Jefferson Davis County, you are back under a tornado warning. That also includes the Melba community. So Melba and Bassfield and Dean are under a new tornado warning that has just been issued, so keep that in mind. And then farther southwestward, we are watching that tornado warning for Pike County. Again, as Elise mentioned, looks like it may have lifted up since there wasn't a debris ball signature anymore. But I would be very leery to let our guard down, because you can still see it's that little node there on the southern end of the box, south of Magnolia. That concerns me a little bit. And so that could be definitely trying to cycle back up. And when we say cycle, you have to remember these things don't always stay the same. They're not always staying the same in intensity. They do intensify, and then they run out of energy, and then they weaken, and then guess what? They refuel, so to speak. There's a lot of energy in this atmosphere. This is the part of the sky that's been really heating up today. A part of the sky, part of the area. South central Mississippi has been seeing more sunshine. When you have an unstable atmosphere, add sunshine to the mix, it's not good. It's going to be causing more problems than anything else, and that's what's going on. Typically, folks associate sunshine with pleasant weather, right? Well, it doesn't always work that way when you're talking about severe weather in the deep south. This is where it stands right now on the satellite picture. You can see lots of breaks in the clouds, but that's the back edge. This is it, folks. That's the back edge of the storm. The back edge of the storm is 120 miles west of Jackson. It's 80 miles west of Vicksburg. And this is it. There's nothing going on back through western Louisiana. So as I like to say, timing is everything in life, right? And if this continues to move from west to east like it's doing, I think that the main energy is going to shift away from I-55, and it's going to move towards I-59 probably in the next couple of hours. And I don't know that we're going to be talking about severe or at least tornadic storms maybe by about 4 o'clock. I know it's after 2 now, but I'm thinking by about 4 o'clock, I think the worst of the weather will probably be over with. So that's the story there. But continuing to watch these tornado warnings that are in effect for the area, mainly south and east of the Metro Jackson area. You can see Smith County. And then, of course, we've got a large tornado possibly near Taylorsville. Take cover immediately, Taylorsville in Smith County. That's just a nasty-looking storm, but it's moving at a pretty good clip. It should be out of the county very soon. This storm that's coming out of Jefferson Davis County is more of a right-turner, so to speak. Looks like it's moving a little bit more east of north. That could be just a symptom of the shear, the upper-level shear kind of blowing it, but we'll keep an eye on it. That's a bad storm, though, near Prentiss, but you're not under a tornado warning in Prentiss. You are, though, in Carson as well as Bassfield. There's been a history of hail. We've been seeing a lot of hail out there today. It's mainly ping pong ball size in this particular case. They're eastward. And now we're starting to get into eastern Mississippi and western Alabama. And, you know, they're going to be in, I hate to say this, but within the next few hours, you're going to be in the prime heating of the day. And it's going to be a rough day for them. It's going to be a rough evening. Because these storms are doing what they're doing, you know, middle of the day for us. If it were 5 o'clock in the evening, I hate to think of what we'd be dealing with here. But by 5 o'clock in the evening here, this storm system will have already pushed eastward. And so we're not going to be dealing with a severe threat in central or southwest Mississippi by 5 o'clock. We're down to the final couple hours here, folks. I know I'm one of those people who likes to pay attention really to the time, but I am rooting for this storm to leave us. Okay, not a doom and gloom. I'm not doom and gloom Dave. Didn't I say it the other day in a meeting?
Yeah,
or said it
doom
somewhere?
and gloom Dave.
Yeah, I'm not that guy. So right now we have these tornado warnings that are currently in effect, and you can see Pike, Walthall counties, again, not Tylertown, but yes, Macomb, yes, Magnolia, yes, over through Fernwood. We do have a tornado warning in effect. Taylorsville, you're under a tornado warning, and Society Hill, as well as Bassfield, you're under a tornado warning as well, along with the community of Carson. Once again, a lot of these places have seen multiple tornado warnings today, and that's how it's been. with this storm system. It's been unrelenting for our south central and southeastern counties in the viewing area. But look at that storm right over Taylorsville right now. And I just feel for the folks in Taylorsville. If we're having a debris ball, folks, chances are there is damage taking place on the ground.
And a very impressive rotation still with that storm in the same place. That is definitely going to indicate that there may be a tornado on the ground there. I'm trying to get a look at our wind speeds here.
Sure.
And see what it's looking like.
Is that
somewhere
82?
around
Look,
80,
90
mile per
that's
hour
not
winds.
Good. Yeah.
And again, if that translates to the surface, then it's certainly not something that we want to see. And that's not that far from the radar either. So that is definitely a good view of that storm.
So that debris is about 10,000 feet in the sky there. Okay, and then there are reports coming in right now where that storm moved through northern Covington County near Hot Coffee. There are reports of homes being damaged in that area. So that lines up with the storm that we are seeing at this point. So again, Taylorsville, there's about 1,200 people that live in Taylorsville. And right now, that thing is going right over the center of Taylorsville. So it's very unfortunate. But again, a tornado warning remains in effect in Taylorsville. Stay in your safe place. If you are away from your TV or if you're without power, that can happen. A lot of times with the tornado, the power is being taken down in your area. You could still watch us. Want to remind you of that on the free First Alert weather app. We are streaming. You can watch us also online at WLBT.com/livestream. Just go to WLBT.com, click on, you'll see it. And you can get the information that way. But we want you to stay informed, but we also want you to be safe. So again, if you're away from your TV and you're losing power, you still have access to us regardless.
Yeah, Dave, speaking of power outages, we've got 24,000 people across the state of Mississippi that are without power now. At least as far as what we've got tracked here. And in Walthall County, it looks like about half of the county is without power right now. And again, you had 2 tornadoes back to back come through the area there. In Jeff Davis County, we're looking at almost 2,000 people without power out of 7,000. So certainly getting into an unfortunate situation here. But the good news is, too, this system looks to be clear of central Mississippi before the sun even sets on our Saturday. So that does mean that they'll be able to get out there hopefully and start to do some repairs and start to get power restored to people. I know that they've got crews on standby. Here's some good news for you too. We've just gotten Walthall County trimmed out of, or I guess you were already out of this warning, but we did see a tornado warning trimmed back here. This is the one that now includes Bassfield and stretches into almost to southern Smith County, where you also have a tornado ongoing, and that one expected to continue on to Bay Springs and into East Mississippi. That is the storm that we were tracking that was a tornado emergency. It still appears to be a tornado that is on the ground, which makes this a very long tracked storm.
Yeah, this one's going up Highway 531, should be intersecting with Highway 18 just outside Bay Springs in the next 5 to 10 minutes. Do have some video and pictures coming in now from Walthall County of the tornado, apparent tornado that moved through earlier. I say apparent, it's the National Weather Service that sends out a survey crew, but we know what we've been looking at. Look at this. Just debris littering the roads. You could see street signs are twisted, and there was a stop sign that was twisted there. There's quite a bit of debris. Looks like it went right across the road. You guys know I'm in the back where in Walthall County this is? I just don't want to say roads unless you know what they are, but that's a pretty major road. It looks like 98 or 42 to me, but it looks like 98. So that's 98, excuse me. I could look at the screen, couldn't I? Highway 98, Walthall County. That's where we have, you could see significant damage there. Looks like it came down one side of the hill, went across the highway, went right upside the other part of the hill. Meteorologist Chase Frank's been here. You've been here for a couple hours, a few minutes.
Just a little bit.
Watching this storm. What are your takeaways right now that you're seeing from where we were this morning to where we are now?
Well, actually, I wanted to point out that we were tracking that one cell that is now moving through Taylorsville, and whenever it was back over into Bassfield, I got a report from one of my good friends over into the East Mississippi area, and they were saying that they were getting reports of debris being lofted all the way over to Bay Springs and Lewin.
Wow.
While it was back over. So debris was lofted over 50 miles from Bassfield over to the Bay Springs area. So to answer your question, though, everything has played out to pretty much what we have been forecasting over the past couple of days. So thankfully, we were very prepared for the situation and very much able to keep everyone updated throughout the past couple of days and leading up to this event today. I feel as though it's been forecasted very well. The Storm Prediction Center has done fantastic at making sure everyone's been prepared for this storm and knowing what was on the way. And we've been talking about tornado outbreaks possible and very strong to long track tornadoes possible, and we've seen that over the past really 4 hours now, I guess 4 hours. So we're going to continue to track this out, though, throughout the rest of the day today because we're still just not out of the woods just quite yet. But a lot of the energy, like you've been talking about, is now over into eastern Mississippi and western Alabama and will continue to make its way off to the east. So I know a lot of people in Mississippi know someone who knows someone. So make sure you call your friends, your family over into eastern Mississippi and western Alabama that that storm system is making its way off into that area as well.
Just a little maintenance here. Thank you very much for that, Chase. Just a little maintenance here. Taylorsville, looks like the worst of the weather has moved on through with this cell. Let's keep an eye on what's going on to your southwest. Okay, you're still under the tornado warning technically. Let's see what happens with the storm that's coming out of Jefferson Davis County into Covington County. So I just want to keep things in perspective. The storms moved through Taylorsville, headed for Bay Springs, but now we're looking southwestward towards that storm that's coming across the river and moving towards Collins. So we've got a good signature here north of Taylorsville. We've got another good signature just outside Bassfield. Okay, we've got those set up. Let's go farther southwest into Pike County.
Not anticipating any downstream tornado warnings for Pike or for Walthall counties.
Okay, well, that's great news. But we are unfortunately monitoring that storm that is going out of Jefferson Davis County into Covington County. It looks like there's a TDS pretty well defined with it again. It looks like it's tightening up just a little bit. So that's something we will keep an eye on for you. I just saw them there. This is probably the one right here. South of McCraney or southeast of McCraney. That's what they've been talking about. So we'll see how that plays out because that may put Smith County in play again one more time with this tornado warning. Let's shift gears a moment and talk about the severe thunderstorm warnings that we're seeing now across central Mississippi because we do have intense thunderstorms that are impacting parts of central Mississippi now that maybe are not necessarily tornadic, but definitely ones that we want to pay attention to. All right, meteorologist Todd Adams, thank you so much for that report. I do want to put you on alert again in Smith County because it looks like we've got that tornado debris signature just west of Collins. And if that is holding together, that's going to be moving towards Mize and Taylorsville. A new tornado warning may be needed if that holds together. It's right in there. Elise just circled it on the screen, crossing Highway 84. That's near Three Notch Road in western sections of Covington County. This is going to go just north of Collins, and then we'll eventually move back into Smith County. Regardless of whether it's tornadic cell or not, it will be something we're going to have to deal with. All right, let's go back into Pike County now because Pike County still has a tornado warning in effect.
If anyone is in this area, get to your safe spot because this is it's getting pretty intense around here.
Yeah, and that's the point. Thanks so much, Nathan Lee. That's the point, too, we've been making, is that we're in a situation here where we've been looking at these thunderstorms. They're just as intense. You know, you may, of course, a tornado is worse than a thunderstorm, but some of these thunderstorms are just intense. You've got severe storms with winds gusting upwards of 60 miles per hour. So these are not storms you should play with anyway. So it's important to understand that you don't want to be out in this weather, even if you don't have a tornado warning that's in effect for your area. Just keep that in mind. Let's go back to regular radar now just for a second, and we can show folks where the worst of the storms are located. We have a line of storms that is now setting up in western Madison County. This is about to cross Interstate 55. It's over Lake Caroline and Annandale. There's some heavy rain. This is moving eastward. But why am I ignoring our westernmost counties along the river? Because there's nothing doing. There really isn't much going on. There's a few showers. And if you live in JS, you really need to be concerned about this. That's where the store, the convenience store, was heavily damaged just about a week or 2 weeks ago by wind that moved through. They had 70 mile per hour wind gusts, did a lot of damage there at the store in JS, and now we have a tornado warning in effect for your area. This is southeastern Lincoln County, Lawrence County, and then Jefferson Davis County. Here we go again. Does any of this sound familiar? Until 3:30, this is a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado.
So right now we've got few tornado warnings that continue. We do have this storm that's moved past Taylorsville. It's now out of Smith County, but it's moving over into Bay Springs. And we have another one that's following in its footsteps. So while you now are out of a tornado warning in Smith County, it was just canceled for you, there is still an ongoing tornado warning that includes Collins. It includes Hot Coffee, where we had confirmed damage from the previous tornado that moved through that area. And there does appear to be a debris signature again now with this storm just west of Collins. I mean, really, these storms have been very deja vu today as we've tracked them. So here's what it looks like for you. In a broader picture, Pike County, you're no longer under a tornado warning, but parts of Lincoln County, Lawrence County, and into Jeff Davis counties, you are back under a tornado warning. This is going to continue until 3:30, so an hour from now. That's how long this tornado warning will last. That again includes Jeff Davis, Lawrence, Lincoln, and parts of Marion counties, because it could clip Marion County as well. So we'll take a look at the radar view here for you, and it does appear to be a little bit messy. So we've got a lot going on. I will tell you, this looks pretty similar to how this was looking on our future radar view last night. Even time-wise, around 2 o'clock, we expected to see a lot of the activity going on along or east of Interstate 55, and that's certainly what's been happening. But as this has continued to shift on to the east, we have seen a few things kind of blossom under this heat of the day, essentially, and in this atmosphere that is just going to be conducive to severe storms. So we do still have some severe thunderstorm warnings out there as well. I don't see any rotation going on in areas near. We've got more information here, still closely monitoring these storms as they push out from the National Weather Service. Really not many updates here, because we're just letting them do their thing. That's all we can do, is continue to track it and give you the first alert. So Taylorsville, this storm that's just west of Hot Coffee, does appear to be making its way your direction along Highway 28 in southern Smith County. So stay in your safe place there. Just don't even leave it yet. Just stay there. I know you just got out from under a tornado warning, and that's now moved on to East Mississippi. But we also have a warning for you, and that's essentially in law of tornado warnings that we're going to be tracking for you. 2 different potential cells. And Dave's joining me now over at the BAM.
I got something weird for you.
Okay.
I'm going to throw you for a big loop.
All right.
We have breaking news, and this is just weird. Okay?
Is it the reports of a tornado?
No.
Oh.
We've had an earthquake.
Oh.
Yeah, there has been an earthquake reported in Simpson County within the last hour. Okay, I know you're looking at
for a loop.
Yeah, she's like, I can't tell if he's. I'm not playing a joke on you. I mean, this is serious. Of course, it's not something to joke about, an earthquake, but it's a very minor earthquake. If it were a serious one, I would tell you. But we have received a report that there was a 3.0 earthquake felt in Simpson County within the last hour. And we have Chase. Do you have any additional information on that? We're just getting the information. I'm just literally sharing it with you for the first time. But all of this going on, and on top of it, not only is stuff happening above ground, we have stuff happening below ground, but it looks like a 3.0 earthquake happened within the last hour. Is that right? Is it an hour ago or 2 hours ago?
It says around 12:49, just around the McGee area.
Okay, so just around the McGee area. Now, a 3.0 wouldn't typically be felt very strong, but some folks might feel it. I'm just checking in with some people around the area. But yeah, this is apparently the report that we're getting in right now. So we just want to pass that along to you, that we do have a report. We also now have a new tornado warning going into effect.
And a new severe thunderstorm warning.
Right. Severe thunderstorm warnings are expanding, and a tornado warning in Smith County. We're going to get you additional information on the earthquake in Simpson County. We're going to get you more additional information now on what's going on with the tornado warning, because that threat is imminent. That is happening right now in Taylorsville. What can you tell us about that, Elise?
All right, so in southern Smith County, around Taylorsville here, we, of course, have been tracking that storm as it has followed that same path as the initial storm. So the initial storm now outside of Smith County, but this one is just west of Hot Coffee. Remember, I just told you that this was going to be moving your direction. We do not have a great debris signature with this, but there appears to be maybe some area that could could be a rotation or could be a debris ball out there. A little bit difficult to identify, but this rotation is not necessarily difficult to identify. And again, it's going to be making its way right into the Taylorsville area here very shortly. So you can see the trajectory that this has taken in the last little bit. I mean, 10, 20 minutes ago, you were dealing with this initial tornado, we'll say 30 minutes ago, and now this is the second one. Now, I will tell you, right behind this, we don't necessarily have a tornado that's going to be headed in the exact same location.
You have these tornado warnings that are currently in effect for Lincoln, Lawrence, as well as Jefferson Davis counties, also in for Smith County. This is the area that's really being impacted. Then we have severe thunderstorm warnings for Rankin, also Simpson, Copiah, and Lincoln counties. Let's take a look at radar for those areas.
We have tornado warnings, and these storms are really no joke, stretched out through Lawrence County, through Jeff Davis County, and up in Smith County. So there is a potential tornado still tracking through the areas just north of Taylorsville. Just give this a second to update, and the National Weather Service does believe that this potential rotation is actually north of Taylorsville now, but it's going to be moving out and back into Bay Springs. So that's the trend there, but we do have another potential area.
So you can see that severe weather threat is now compressing east of I-55. It's 246 right now. I think that the brunt of this severe weather threat will be over with by about 4 o'clock, maybe 5 o'clock, if I could stretch that out a little bit. But that's how things are looking right now. Meteorologist Danae Scales joins me for the very latest. You've been watching this weather, since about 4 o'clock this morning?
I got in at 3:30. I'll say 4 is probably
I missed
when
you by about 10 minutes. How about that?
Basically, yeah. I'll say about 4 is when I started babysitting the radar, and then Chase Franks was here within the next 30 minutes. So we've been here all day. It's definitely been a long event, just like we were forecasting throughout the last week. We were having severe weather outbreak conditions for sure, and right now we're still seeing about 3, but one of them is just at the very corner of a county. We've got about 3 tornado warnings currently in the area, and if I go to velocity, I can go ahead and see which one is currently the strongest because they've gone back and forth. It still looks like this one that is near, I know it's south of Raleigh, so basically around Taylorsville still, even though that's definitely broader than it was moments ago, that still looks like the strongest rotation that we are currently seeing, and that is right over the Taylorsville community. Now, if I go over to debris, thankfully we're not seeing a signature with this right now. That means it's likely this storm is not lofting debris into the sky at the moment. But we definitely have seen some stronger storms earlier in the day. And then if I look further south, that's our tornado warnings. It looks like the most damaging storm is definitely the one that is further north over Taylorsville, but that is going to be crossing out of our area pretty soon. For now, we are still looking at that that velocity signature, so the wind, but not seeing a very clear debris signature with this, although we could almost kind of make the argument for this little speck right here. Either way, definitely seeing strong rotation with that storm that's still over Taylorsville. I'm going to put a marker on this right here. That seems to be the most defined tornadic supercell that we are tracking at the moment, and they are going with a confirmed tag for that because of likely that debris signature that we are seeing along with that velocity couplet. And that is pretty much the only one that I'm tracking right now that looks like it's likely on the ground. I would say the other ones, they look a little bit less defined than they were when the warning was prompted. But beyond that, we've got severe thunderstorm warnings across many parts of the area. This is a very large severe thunderstorm warning that is pretty much affecting the entire line. This is kind of just an overview of the situation. But Chase, do you think I overlooked anything? There's a lot going on.
I think that you pretty much hit everything pretty good. And again, that main line of storms is finally pushing through. And we started off everything with you early this morning, and thankfully it's moved through fairly quickly. Now, again, the further to the south and to the east that you go, that's more than likely where we'll see that that final really push for some severe storms in our area. It's mainly off into eastern Mississippi now. So if you have friends or family over into the Meridian area, down near Hattiesburg, give them a call, give them a heads up if they live along I-59. So that's really the corridor that we're going to be looking for next. But right now, areas pretty much west of I-55 are looking to be in the clear. It's really that area along I-55 right now where we're starting to get more heavy downpours. That's here into the metro areas off to the east, where we do have that chance for a couple rumbles of thunder, some gusty winds here and there. But again, it's mainly off to the south. And I agree. And the only area that we're really looking at to have that clear, defined rotation is into that Taylorsville area. Again, sadly, talking about it moving closer to the Bay Springs area. But again, that's pushing into eastern Mississippi now in just a little bit. I remember Lewin EF3 tornado just a couple years ago. So that is heading that direction right now as we speak. Bay Springs into Lewin, Highway 18, back into areas north and to the east of Taylorsville. And that's a pretty well-defined signature right there. We've had confirmation of this tornado touching down further to the south in Tylertown, and it seems as though it's continued that cycle of just gaining strength, losing strength, and then returning now back into a confirmed tornado back onto the ground. So it's very important that we take this very serious. If you do live into the areas to the north, into the east of Highway 28 in Taylorsville, and again, we have someone on the way from Raleigh down Highway 37, so it's very important that they continue to be safe as well. So we're going to be keeping a very close eye on the system, still tracking its way into eastern Mississippi and western Alabama. On the back end of it, Hot Coffee, you are now in the clear. Collins, you are not necessarily in the clear just quite yet. We do
area, but also would want to mention with this storm that we were talking about a few moments ago over in Taylorsville, that in the National Weather Service group chat, we are seeing reports of damage with that to many trees, as well as some property damage as well with this storm that's in Taylorsville and is moving towards the east. So it is pretty much it's getting ready to exit the county and move further to eastern Mississippi. But for right now, we're still seeing that storm in very eastern part of Smith County is where we are seeing this tornado that is moving on out of Taylorsville, but approaching the Bay Springs area quickly. If I go ahead and look at the velocity with that, still definitely seeing a strong velocity return. And the debris looks a little bit scattered on this particular scan, but we know that within the past few minutes, it has been confirmed as a tornado on the ground. So this is definitely a dangerous situation, but it is also exiting out of our area. For now, though, the only pretty much roads, if you live away 531 or along 531, excuse me, or County Road 99 over in Smith County, those are the areas that are still being impacted by this storm. Other than that, it is about to exit it out of our viewing area. Also, County Road 185, they're in the bulk of the heavier part of this, the most tornadic part of this thunderstorm. But then further out towards the west, they are seeing definitely some heavy rainfall, but the rotating part of the storm is about to
see that area where we were looking at with rotation, and again that little hook is now moving into the Bay Springs area right now out of central Mississippi. So Raleigh, you are in the clear. Down into Taylorsville looking good as well. Hot Coffee looking nice and clear now that you do not have to worry about that tornado warning. So we're going to wait until that one expires, as well as tracking the one on the back end of everything. So it's just really this last system. And do you mind if we, Smith County, as we are looking at damage over into, this is, can y'all tell me if this is outside of Taylorsville? Yes, this is outside of Taylorsville right now. So this is the community that was just hit by multiple tornadoes. And again, we're going to keep these people in our thoughts and prayers as we continue to go forward through the rest of the day today. Again, there's a lot of trees down and buildings have been very damaged out here across much of the Taylorsville area. So Smith County has reported a lot of damage. As we can see, a lot of damage out here. And again, look at that stop sign, just completely bent over. And again, we're looking at a lot of widespread damage over in this area. So again, make sure y'all stay off the roads. I want you to be aware of this, that if you do live out in these areas, you do not want to go out and look at the damage right now. If you can't tell, look at that down power line right there. Again, you need to stay away while emergency officials are able to clear the scenes, at least able to get those emergency power lines back up, and making sure that we are able to keep everyone safe whenever we are going to be clearing damage.
If it's okay for me to butt in, just because since we're looking at this area, it's also important people who are here in Smith County need to be taking shelter now, because the storm that we were looking at a moment ago that just touched down again is headed toward that same area again. So unfortunately, Taylorsville is actually in the path of this tornado that we just saw a few moments ago touch down. So if we can move back to look at the radar, I have kind of a tracker on when and some times for this system. It's currently
Yeah, we are in downtown Taylorsville right now, and I don't know if you've seen some of the video from earlier, but they've been hit pretty bad here. It looks like several blocks in downtown. I'm going to take the outside camera here and see if you can see any of this. Wow. Fire trucks, law enforcement officials, they're just at least 4 blocks tore up here. We're trying to get out of here. You mentioned there's another tornado headed toward Taylorsville right now. And all the law enforcement and fire department are worried about that. The power lines are down. They have assured us that the electricity has been cut off, but we're not getting out of the vehicles. That looks like a church that has been damaged there. Just several blocks. It's a mess. They certainly don't need another tornado coming through here. So we're going to try to get out of town as the situation looks like it's going to worsen for us here in the next few minutes.
Good thing, Todd. I'm very happy to hear that you're trying to get out of town right now. And I suggest all those other cars that were out there on the roads, I know a lot of people are going to try to be out there thinking, okay, we got hit by 1, we got hit by 2. I've got to get out there and try to clean up. But no, number 3 is right on your doorstep. So you need to make sure that you're in your safe space still as you are into the Taylorsville area, south.
On the road. And that's where the actual circulation is. Based on where this is right now, the odds of it going due north are slim, so it's probably going to pass by Taylorsville. It's going to come darn close, though. So I just want to let you know, we are monitoring it, and you're still under a tornado warning, how fast it's moving. We've had damage reported this afternoon from Walthall County, and our WLBT's 3 on your sides, Nathan Lee, is there right now with a live report. What are you seeing on the ground there, Nathan?
Yeah, Dave, it's quite literally the worst case scenario. We're actually at Paradise Ranch RV Resort, and we're going to give you all a look at what we're seeing out here. I mean, right there, you see a camper was flipped on its side, and that's not it. I mean, right behind it, you could see some trees that have just been completely taken away. I mean, they cut in half. I mean, it's really hard to stomach. I'm going to be honest. I haven't seen anything like this in my life. We're actually going to pan over to the right over here, and we're going to show y'all some other things. We got some trees down. We got some damage on some RV parks. We've actually seen a bunch of crews out here cleaning up and trying to help as many people as possible. We haven't got any information about injuries or anything like that, but this is where it started, apparently, that first tornado in Tylertown, if I am correct, Dave. I mean, this is ground zero almost. I mean, this is really hard to stomach. Like I said, we got so much damage. We're actually going to keep walking around this area to see stuff. We actually got some down power lines as well. That's why we kind of parked shop right here. That's where you see you never.
All right, that is our WLBT's Nathan Lee. We're going to go back to him in a little bit. Folks, it's pouring down rain in that area, and we're in a little bit of a rural spot, so we'll try to go back to him if we can reestablish contact. But we have one remaining with meteorologist Todd Adams, is currently in Smith County. Todd, where are you located? What are you seeing where you are?
Hey, Dave, yeah, we were in Taylorsville looking at the damage that had occurred there. Several blocks definitely had severe damage to the area. Law enforcement, fire, other response personnel were there. And then the sirens started going off, and they were all turning around asking us, what's on the radar, what's coming our way? And I'm going to turn the camera off me for a moment so you can see the road. And everyone started to scatter. And so we got out of town too, because another tornado, they'd already been hit by one, another one headed their way. They went to, I think it was a high school, it might have been. They were just stationed there away from downtown, waiting to go in afterwards. So we're booking it out of there. We've gone through Mize, headed toward McGee right now. It's been very heavy rainfall, very dark, and a lot of lightning as well. But I think we're about to bust through the storm system and come out on Highway 49 to get to a bit of a safer area. But yeah, it's been quite the day. And you're talking about storms, tornadoes going over the same path. Taylorsville likely having the same situation today.
Okay, thank you so much, meteorologist Todd Adams. And our first alert storm tracker already reports, this is coming in here about an hour ago. We have numerous reports of damage already outside of Bay Springs. Extensive tree damage, and Highway 531 is blocked already. And that's from the previous tornado, Anae. That's from the previous tornado in Bay Springs. So are you saying we have some video of that? Okay, I'm sorry. Can we have video of this damage, apparently, or at least close to this damage. And this was taken by our WLBT First Alert Storm Tracker. Look at that. There's their Taylorsville sign. And so we're right outside Taylorsville in this picture. That's the sign to the high school, points to the high school. This is not the high school you're looking at, but there's some damage here in the Taylorsville area. A lot of trees knocked over. Look at those power poles. You can see that the power poles are pushed over. Whoa, okay, now we're getting into some serious damage. Anytime you see the metal wrapped up there and the power lines and, gosh, I feel for these folks. And you can see this is parts of Taylorsville. There's some significant damage. You know, folks, we got a couple hours, actually make that about 3 hours before the sun sets. I just want you to please be careful. As best you can. This is where we run into a lot of accidents. People are, you know, you let your guard down. You're trying to do your best to help your neighbors out. Just be careful with these power lines. It's going to get dark here very soon. We obviously have extensive power outages out there, and we're showing you a video here of the damage that was in Taylorsville. But I just hope you be careful tonight if you can and avoid these dangerous situations, because a lot of folks do get injured, unfortunately, after the storm. Bad things can happen after the storm. It was me, I keep losing track of time here, but 8 years ago, I lost my home a day after a storm hit. The tree had been loosened by the storm and then went through it afterwards. So I tell you right now that I've gone through this. I want you to be careful. Even after the storm, I learned a very valuable lesson. I hope you don't have to learn the same lesson, but this is just a reminder of the dangerous situation that today's weather has brought some communities, not all of them, but some communities in our area. This warnings 1, this goes away at 4, and that's going to be a little sliver that's left over. We hope you have a safe rest of the afternoon. If there are additional tornado warnings, of course, we will jump back into programming right away to tell you about it. You could stay up to date online, WLBT.com, the streaming apps on your TV, and of course our free First Alert weather app. For the First Alert Weather Team, I'm Chief Meteorologist Dave Roberts. We now return you to regularly scheduled programming.
This has been a First Alert weather update. We now return you to our regularly scheduled programming.